Good morning. I'm super excited to welcome you all again to my YouTube channel, Christiana D. Let us talk with Christiana D. Okay, like I said, we just don't talk. We talk sense, we talk truth, we talk fun, and many more that I'm gonna be unraveling as we take this ride together. Okay, so I'm so grateful that you are here right now watching me. I'm super honored to be watched by you. So thank you. Alright, so today I'm going to be talking about something like we're going to be picking lessons from a particular story that really inspired me. Okay, so the daughters of Zehophehad, that's what we're going to be talking about today. It's daughters of Zehophehad. Okay, so just a quick recap of where my focus exactly. Okay, so we the daughters of Zehophehad, they're 5 in numbers, and they lost their dad, okay, and the law of the land does not allow female children to inherit the possessions of their parents when they died. Except those parents had a male child or male children, the inheritance does not go to the children, okay. But unfortunately, Zehophehad had just 5 girls, like he didn't have a son, and so automatically they shouldn't actually inherit the law, the possessions and the properties of their father. But I was surprised when these 5 women came together and appeared before Moses, Eliza, the priest, and the congregation, and they made their plea known, okay, towards the rights of their father, that it belonged to them, they should actually have it, and all of those things. And so the story went on like that, and Moses went to God, and God spoke to him concerning the issue he brought to God, and God said that they should give the inheritance to them, and henceforth every children should have rights to the inheritance of their father, whether male or female. Now, the first lesson that I like us to take from this interesting short story I just told is number 1. The Bible recorded that the daughters of Zehophehad they came together and appeared before Moses. They came together. What does that, indicate there? That's unity. They were united. They were in one accord. Imagine if one of the daughters disagrees, probably out of fear or out of negligence, that, come on, it has always been like that, let's just stay back. Why do we have to go? Let's just stay. We are ladies, we are women, we don't really have rights and all, so let's just keep our heads down before things go the way we don't want to. Imagine if one of them was talking like that, or maybe 2 out of the 5, or 3 out of the 5, or imagine if only one out of the 5 was the one willing to go and make their desire, their petition known. They probably wouldn't succeed. They probably wouldn't, because when one is saying something, the other person is saying another thing. At the end of the day, that one might be convinced by the others to just stay back, okay? Or if that one eventually goes, she might not have, something can just come up if they were not the 5 that went together. So unity is very, very important, I like to say that in the realm of the spirit, unity is one big weapon that cannot be swept under the carpet. Yeah. When different bodies come together in one accord, speaking the same voice, having the same mind, you'll be amazed and flabbergasted by how things will turn out. It's just like different parts of the body coming together to make the body function. Just like Paul said, he used that analogy. Paul was speaking to the Corinthians. He said in 1 Corinthians 1 verse 10, I think, he was talking to them that he beseeched them by the name of the Lord, that they should be in one accord, speaking the same thing, Those were his words. Speaking the same thing, that is, having the same voice, speaking the same thing, having the same mind and judgment. Speaking the same thing, having the same mind and judgment. He told them that. That shows to us how very important unity is. The daughters of Zehophehad came together having one voice. They came together having one judgment. They saw something from the same perspective. They saw an issue from the same angle, and so they attacked it together from just one perspective. They spoke the same mind. They spoke the same judgment, or they had the same judgment. They spoke the same thing. So unity is very, very important. We can say that that's like one of the major thing that helped them to actually get what they wanted. Unity. Okay. Another thing we need to look at is who they went to. The daughters of Zehophehad definitely would have friends. Definitely would have relatives, But who did they take the matter to after discussing it amongst themselves? They took it to Moses, Eliezer, the priest, and other congregations, leaders, and all. My point exactly is they went to a man of God. Moses, we all know, was a man of God. Okay, Eliezer was a priest. They took the matter to a man of God. Now, let us relate it to our dispensation. I am not saying that whenever you have issues, you should always go to your man of God, because many people believe that you don't need to go to a man of God, and I totally agree with that, because even the Bible says that we are our own prophets. Okay, so I believe that there are certain issues that you can handle as a child of God spiritually. But if you feel it gets out of hand, please relate it to someone, an authority that you respect and honor. Okay? But where am I going exactly? That man of God is like figurative to me. Okay? They took it to someone. I like us to know that a man of God is not necessarily a pastor or an evangelist. Somebody who is just a child of God. Who is a man or a woman of God, actually. But they took it to a man of God. So now, what did Moses do when they took it to him? He went back to God, and God gave him back what to say to them. You see, a lot of times, many of us make these mistakes because we are so overwhelmed by that problem. We are so overwhelmed by that challenge, and we just really want to talk everything out. We want everything to just come out. We want to burst out and all, and so we find the closest person to us at that particular time to relate our problems and challenges with. But sometimes it doesn't work that way, okay? Because you might be making a mistake of who you are talking your problem with. Make sure that the person you're talking your problem with is able and capable enough to give you the mind of God concerning that situation. The person might not necessarily have to go to God in prayers like Moses did, okay? It's rare to find people that would actually hear you talk to them about something and they will be like, okay, you know what, I'll get back to you, and then go to God and pray and come back to tell you what God said. It's really hard, okay? It's rare, rather. But then you have to be sure that this person I'm talking this thing to is somebody that can give me the mind of God concerning the situation. I don't want to talk to someone who's going to advise me and make me do something that seems really right, but at the end of the day, that is not what God wants me, or that was not what God wanted me to do concerning that situation. We need to come off the mentality that there are some situations that God leaves to us that, do it however you want to do it. I'm out of this. God is in all situations, and He has His mind concerning every specific situations. He always has something to say. He always has His own advices to give, and so we need to hear Him out. We need to be sensitive enough to those we take our matters to, not those that we take it before other people, make it, a family discussion over the table, a dinner kind of talk, a lunch or breakfast kind of talk, and then they just use their own discretion, experiences to judge the matter and give you feedback that came absolutely from flesh and not God or spirit. Okay, so you need to be sure that the people you take your matters to are those who truly fear the Lord, that can give you the mind of God, not another mind, not a mind that will be contrary to that of God. Okay, so that's one of the things we also need to learn. And another thing, of course, is that that law had been for a very long time, and it's so absurd that 5 ladies or women would now come together to stand up against that law. They possessed their inheritance because they came before the people of God and made their request known. Like they were speaking from the position of authority, like we are the rightful owner of this inheritance. Although they were so humble and fearless. They were humble yet fearless. We need to know that even if it is your right and you want to take it, whatever situation, I'm leaving spirituality out of it now. In any situation, physically, you know that this thing rightfully belongs to you and you want to take it. Even when you want to make your need known or your right known, you have to do it with utmost humility and fearlessness. Okay? Because God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of love, of power, and of a sound mind. So the spirit of fear is not from God. We know that already. So you have to come fearless, yet humble. Not with violence. They didn't come with axes, guns or cutlass or what have you, canes. They didn't come violently. They came in peace. Even though it was their right, they came in peace. You can imagine how painful. Let's relate it to now. Imagine someone's dad dies and she had been living with her father all the years she was born, and her father died, and some family members just come and say they want to take everything, leaving her with nothing. You can imagine how that will feel. So that was how they were feeling then, but they did not allow their emotions to blindfold their actions. Okay, or affect, influence negatively their actions. They were careful enough, they were humble yet fearless. Okay, so that was, by the way, I was actually going somewhere. Okay, I was talking about the law being already on ground, like the law had been, and these people came standing from the point of authority, from the position of authority, and they took back what rightfully belongs to them. Now let me talk to us that a lot of people are not walking in victory because they have not stood up from that point of, from the position of authority that by redemption they now have, to actually collect what belongs to them. A lot of people are ignorant of the authority that they have in Christ. They don't know who they are. They don't know that they have so much power. They don't know they have so much authority to actually claim what rightfully belongs to them. And now I'm speaking from the spiritual angle. It was also in Corinthians, Paul was saying we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers, against rulers of darkness in heavenly places. So we know that our spiritual weapons are not carnal. Our weapons are not carnal. They are our warfare. Our weapon, is it our warfare? Yeah. Our warfare is not carnal or something like that. Like, I can't quote it verbally, but our warfare, the weapons, I remember now. The weapons of our warfare are not carnal, okay, but mighty in God, pulling down of strongholds. So we need to take up that authority. When it has to do with spiritual things, you need to know that one thing you need to know that you have the authority already to claim what rightfully belongs to you, and that happens in the place of prayer. Even Moses had to go to pray on their behalf before God could say, okay, yes, release it unto them. It belongs to them. So if Moses didn't pray, he wouldn't hear, and who knows, he might just give them the advice of this has always been, it will continue to be so. I'm sorry, there is nothing I can do about it. But he went to God in prayer. He saw the situation as a need He saw it as something God had to speak about. You know, many times we just use our own eyes to make big issues seem frivolous. Like, we just make them seem like nothing, like we make them seem like not a big deal, and that's not cool anyways. So what am I saying? We need to know our rights. We need to know the authority that we already have, and so it is when we know that we can actually fight from that position. Okay, so be aware, be aware. You have the authority. Be aware that this thing is your right. Be aware. You need to be aware now, not just spiritually, now in your place of work. You need to know your right. Nobody can just come and treat you like you're nothing. Nobody can come to treat you like you are some slave, or just something, you know, they use and just throw away. If your boss is treating you like you do not matter, when you know that you've spent a lot and dispense a lot of value for the progress of the company, come on, it's time for you to take what rightfully belongs to you. In the place of prayer, coming to him physically, making it known. Don't just wallow in defeat. Don't wallow in self-pity. Don't wallow in tears and sadness, waiting for that thing to come. It won't come. You have to go to it and collect it. Okay, so that being said, another thing I like us to take note in the life of in the daughters of Zehophehad is their fearlessness. I already talked about that. They were fearless. They saw this thing as a necessity, and they went before the people and made their plea known. Okay, so I talked about unity. I talked about humility. Even though it is your right, you need to remain humble and not violent at all to collect it. You know, being aware of the authority that you have of your rightly possession and taking it. Okay, and I guess that's I think that's all. There are many more lessons to actually pick from their lives, but I like us to just stop at that. Okay, and maybe we'll continue later. I don't know if we'll be able to continue on that part later, but I just want to talk to us that we can get a source of inspiration and encouragement from the daughters of Zehophehad, who stood on their rights to claim the possession that rightfully belongs to them. And lastly, I know there was something I was forgetting. And lastly, they didn't say, because these have been happening probably even before we were born or grown-ups, then we have no right to actually go and say, let us change it. No, they didn't say that. Okay, so sometimes something wrong might have been on ground for a very long time. It doesn't matter how long. But don't be discouraged. Because something has been happening for so long, even before you got there, does not mean you should keep quiet about it. You can be a pace setter. You can be the chain changer. Because they did. After Moses got back, not only was the possession given to them, but every other female children now had rights to their parents' inheritance if they die. They were chain changers, they were pace setters, even though that law had been for a long time. Okay, so that's another thing we need to learn from that. No matter how long a wrong has been, once you get there and you know that you are supposed to change it, please don't sleep on it. Change it. Okay, change it. And they didn't say because we are women, how are we going to talk? So this is just my last message to every woman out there. You're strong, you're bold, you're fearless. You have authority and power. Actually, you have authority and power. Gender does not define your authority. It doesn't define your power. It doesn't define your rights. Gender doesn't define your rights. So if you're suffering from lack of possessions, like lack of possessing your rightful possessions, please this is the time to wake up and do something. This is the time to take that step, that bold step, to receiving and collecting what rightfully belongs to you. Please don't let gender be a source of discouragement. Don't let people be a source of discouragement, okay? And just fly. The sky is so wide, and it's not made for just some certain set of people. It is made for every person. As long as you have air breathing, you have the right to fly, to shine, to succeed. Okay, so just take that bold step today and claim what rightfully belongs to you, but in the right way, not through violence. Okay, so I've come to the end of the talk today. I hope that you were blessed, because I was blessed when I was reading up. Okay, if you really want to read and check more stuff, you can check Numbers 27. That's where the story is. That's where I saw it. That's where I read up. Okay, so you can I feel there are a lot of stories in the scriptures that can inspire us in this dispensation. A lot of people go through crazy stuff, and you'll be surprised that it had happened in the Bible. And so learning how people overcame those challenges and problems could give us insights to how to go about ours and how to deal with it. So there is nothing too big than the God you serve. There is nothing too big than the authority that you have. There is nothing too big than the dominion that you already possess through redemption. So please, I need you to go back and read up on it and learn, get some inspiring lessons even beyond what I've said, and I pray that God blesses you and God speaks to you and God strengthens you as you do so. So let's just say bye bye. Let's put a full stop to it now. We're coming back next week with something really, really juicy. Oh God, I feel like spilling it, but I won't. Wait till then. Okay, so please don't forget to subscribe. If you are watching this video and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel and click the notification button so you can get notifications when I post something. Okay, so thank you so much for your time. God bless you. I love you all. Bye.